Don't usually go out there.
They're building it up now, though. There's a lot of new development.
All right. Someone said we didn't have any sound. Let me check something real quick. Sounded pretty damn good to me a minute ago. Okay, so I can definitely hear myself.
Nice. Check, check, 1, 2.
Okay, just checking. Everything is good. All right. So you said Avondale?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's west, west, west.
Hmm.
You a quarter of the way to California.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost at Blythe. It's there are cousins right
All right. So have you been anywhere else?
there. Honestly, as far as living, no, no. Arizona's been my only place. But as far as states, yeah, Louisiana, Washington D.C., California, of course, Nevada, of course. I've been around, a bunch of different states, but I'm still looking to travel more, of course.
All right. Now, currently, or shall I say not currently, growing up in Arizona, what was it like for you?
For me, growing up in Arizona was strange because it was a mix. Like anywhere that, like anywhere that, like any type of living that I wanted, I felt like I could have growing up. If I wanted to, if you want the hood lifestyle, you could go to Central Phoenix. You could go to South Phoenix. You could go to the West Side. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like 16th Street, Corner Park. All that stuff. You can all that's out there. If you wanted the country life, you got that too.
Nope.
You can go out. You can go out all on the edges and the fringe spots of Arizona, and you'll see horses and all of that. If you want that
Nope.
party lifestyle, you got that too, and you got the different levels. So you could go to Tempe for the college type party fun, where if our team loses, we're gonna flip your car style party, and then if you want the high class, I want to go chill with the mayor's daughter, you can go to Scottsdale for that. So it's like it was fun growing up in Arizona to kind of explore around. But I was ditching and I was hopping on the bus for like 60 cent slips. So I got to explore Arizona, a lot when I was young.
So, growing up in Arizona for you, what would you say was the best part about it?
The best part was like it wasn't as I heard everybody, when they're growing up and then they have these areas and they couldn't literally go to an area and get to know people. For me, any area that I went to, I could get to know somebody. I could end up, befriending somebody, finding somebody over there to kick it with, hang out with. I mean, when I was young, it was real easy to find, people who would kind of like just take you in. So all the groups were open and accessible to me, whether I went to the south side, whether I was in the west side, whether I went up north, whether I was hanging out with, the white kids, the black kids, the Mexicans. Honestly, like I was just taken in everywhere. So that was the best thing for me.
Okay, so then let's growing up here in good old Phoenix, Arizona, you're doing your thing, right? At what point in time did you go, okay, so this is what I want to do with my life that got you to the point of where you are at today?
Well, I would say I was more like shuffled into what I'm doing now, but all with purpose. So when I was young, I got into music early just due to everybody around me. My brother and everybody was kind of like doing the rap thing around me, and I seen what they were doing, but I would always duck off to the side, kind of mess with the computer, learn the programs on my own, learn how to make beats, and just kind of do my own thing until my brother started hearing my production and then wanted me to record him. So I would do that all on the side of going to school or maybe not going to school, getting in trouble, doing that all on the side. And so that just brought me more into hanging out with him, his friends, an older crowd. Did that for years. Started meeting more people in the game. Started, just connecting with folks, and then started showing my music at different showcases and things like that. While on the side of still kind of being like a little techie nerd, so I was getting into like computers and all that stuff on the side, but I was always doing music, and so because of that, it was the main way that I met people and started making friends. So even though I needed something to sustain me, and over the years I started building a career in IT and in web development, it really just became still like something that's a little bit more than a hobby. Like I'm doing it, I'm actually meeting other serious artists, I'm producing songs, I'm working with people that have a name. So I always felt connected to creatives. But as I grew up, you have to do things that are gonna support you. And I always looked at the music business as if you do it in the right way, it's actually, there's you can always find a way to support yourself. It doesn't have to be this gamble. Though a lot of people are like, if I gotta do it in a way where it's all or nothing, and most likely, it's not, if I don't do it this right way, they just put their life on the line on it with no way of seeing themselves settle on anything in the industry other than if they're famous or if they get this level of exposure that they have in their mind. But there are so many other ways to get it. So me seeing that as a producer, me seeing all the different roles that people can have over time, not only having my own aspirations as an artist and connecting with other artists, I just found ways to connect artists with opportunities that I could see that normally they're not seeing. So I normally stand in the gap. Like I'm also a program director for Key Vibes Radio. And in that capacity, I'm able to help people to create shows, produce shows, have interviews, and get on air, meet DJs and people that can help them to bring more awareness to their music and what they do. And that is, that as I seen myself able to kind of fall into that role, I just become more passionate about it. That also helps when I do everything else out. So because I know all these artists, I'm like in the middle of knowing about different events, and I can go in and host. It provides me with those type of opportunities. So it becomes reciprocal. Me helping artists with opportunities, and then opportunities coming my way. And so I feel like I kind of got shuffled into this role, but like in a good way.
So I'm gonna take it back to something that you said a minute ago, where you said music business.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people forget is that this is actually a business, and if you don't treat it like a business, if you treat it like a hobby, well, hobby is usually something you sink a bunch of money into, and usually it doesn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Also, a hobby is a situation of something that you don't really have to take too serious because you just like to do it for fun. It's never going to pay your bills. It's never going to be something that is going to be absolutely amazing. It's just what it is, a hobby.
Yeah.
Now, the moment that you get involved into the business aspect of doing it and you treat it like a business, well, lo and behold, you start making money. People start taking you a little bit more serious. You start investing in your craft. So with that, definitely, Don DeMarco. All right. So in doing this, let's go here. What is the first album you ever listened to from beginning to end?
Okay. The first album I ever listened to from beginning to end is possibly Thriller, to be honest. In all honesty, it was I know it was Thriller, but the first album that really like influenced me to fall more deeply in love with music and think of its different dynamics was actually that Method Man album, To Cal 2000.
All right, which album would you say you've taken, listened to, and actually like broke it down in your head? Like, I can hear this sound, I hear this sound, I hear this sound. I would have did the vocals this way. Because being a producer and going into I call that producers, engineers, y'all are pretty much in the exact same bag.
Yeah.
One makes beats, but even to make the beats, you have to be able to layer them to sound correctly. Yeah. An engineer, your job is to go there and make sure that everything sounds flawless. One leads to the other, and whether we like it or not, most producers are engineers and most engineers are producers. What was the song that you heard where you were like, I'm about to Dr. Dre this bitch?
Honestly, the I would say it was really an album, and it was the autobiography of Kirk Jones from Sticky Fingers that really, you know, made me think of production differently. That that whole album, like I think he was also going to do a movie or episodic on it, but it reminded me of a movie. Like I could see each song was like a scene, and it made me dive deep into the soundscaping of the album, the words, how everything was really put together. Um, but yeah, and that makes me think actually before that. So that album I know sparked me on an album level. But if I think of an individual song, if I want to go back and think of an individual song, I would have to say it was probably Twister's Adrenaline Rush.
That motherfucker was fire too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because when I first heard it, it like how the intro comes in,
Yes.
and so like I was just like, hold up, you brought me into a whole different space with the song, and then to break down his lyrics and to catch how he was actually saying something, not just going fast, like that song really, yeah, that song really sparked my producer brain.
Okay. That hey, I ain't gonna lie. That's that one song. If people can't tell, that's one of those tracks that'll actually get me excited because I remember being 17, 18 years old, riding around in my 86 Buick LeSabre with my triple gold Dayton's, with my two Pioneer IMPP 12s in the trunk, my four 6x9s in the deck, my 6.5s in the door, and my tweeters up front, literally listening to that motherfucker. So yeah, I'm that beat is something, and what's crazy is think about it, nobody in the music industry has touched it.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Tried to, hasn't tried to get on it, tried to redo it. Like that adrenaline rush is I don't think anybody could top it. They scared of it.
It's an instant classic, and I believe even Twisted came with another version of it, and killed it on one of his albums. But that song right there in itself, it's a staple in my youthhood. It's just there's no one. I don't feel like there's no one that could try to top it.
Nah, I don't see anybody, especially in today's music, that is gonna try to do it. It's gonna take a while because music does repeat itself. So at some point in time, there'll be another version of Twisted that potentially might come along.
No lie. If I heard a version of that song and say it had T Nutty and Yellow Wolf on it, I'd listen to that though, just to see what they do.
And see, that's the thing. We would see what they would do, but there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
So okay, now where you're at today and what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest challenge to what all the things? Because you're wearing a lot of hats. Which one of those hats comes with the biggest challenge?
I would say the biggest challenge comes with right now the Brothers United Against Domestic Violence, which is a nonprofit that I'm working with for marketing and outreach. And the biggest challenge only comes with that due to how much need there is, and getting the word out in a way where it's sufficient in a way, trying to find all the avenues to get it done and to get people to participate. I think that's just the hardest thing when you want to push an effort that's not like that's not sexy, that's not cool. It could be tough to talk about. You find a lot of avenues where people want to help, but we're a nonprofit and we're really asking for participation. We're asking for support, and it's not on people's number one list to get behind something that's trying to bring preventative measures for domestic violence. Even right now with what's going on with the state and how it's kind of cleaning out a lot of its mental and behavioral health services, cleaning out all the corruption that's there. It's hard to kind of get some participation. There's a lot of oversight now, and a lot of things you got to do to make sure that that whoever you're working with know that your efforts are pure, and to get them to want to extend themselves for what we're trying to do. So it's tough, but I think it'll get better because it's just a necessary thing. And what Brothers United Against Domestic Violence does is we teach in communities to help spread the awareness of domestic violence issues, but to give people the skills that they need to handle these issues better, like conflict management and understanding your triggers and things such as that.
All right, and then of the hats that you're wearing, which one would you say you're having the most fun in?
Oh, the most fun? That's okay. That's hosting events, podcasting, interviews, connecting with people. Come on. That's the best. That's the best.
All right, now interviews, podcasts.
Yeah.
Because now you on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, I know.
You in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Okay, what are some of the best interviews, or what would you consider a good interview when you're doing a podcast?
I would consider a good interview as, I like it when the guest talks, but, not necessarily when it's like we're not able to dialogue together. So I like to be included in the conversation with them because mainly my job is to just ask questions and to keep the conversation moving along and to also, steer it so that it's to the theme and then bring in, some insightful thought. But a lot of times it can get shifted in this direction or that direction or even then it could the stories can be kind of long-winded and I want to jump in with you. So I really think when you have good rapport and good and you vibe well with the person that's on either the other side of the table or at the other mic, those are the best interviews. Sometimes it can get awkward, but then I feel like as an interviewer, that's my job to kind of settle that and keep things going. I like the different communication styles that people have and trying to match that or trying to get them to bring out a different perspective than what they normally think. So, when I can do all that, it's fun. If somebody is shy and nervous, it's I got to do a little bit more work. It doesn't make it a bad experience. It's just maybe not the best interview that I would want to have.
All right, and then what would you consider to be a bad interview?
I would probably say honestly in the realm that we're in, there is no bad interviews. You can always use the interaction for good. Like it can be a learning experience or an earning experience. Whatever you want to make it. We'll take it wherever it goes for sure.
Okay, so hosting. I just came off of one of the biggest shows that I'm gonna say Phoenix is gonna have this year, which was IceCon.
Yeah.
Hair, makeup, all these different things. There were multiple hosts on this particular show. A lot. Okay?
Yeah.
What would you say? How did you get into hosting and what made you want to go into that realm of the world?
I actually got into hosting because I felt like when I started doing podcasts with Song Lab Live, I hosted a long time before doing podcasts with Song Lab Live. And really it was because a friend of mine who I now do Song Lab Live with at the time, he was throwing parties and, the parties would turn up, and this is out in Avondale. So we everybody, it was more like house parties, and we wanted to take what we're doing at the house and put it into venues. And so we wanted to start that, but we were like, all right, well, how do we kind of organize this, and what are going to be all of our parts? So sometimes I would come by and host. I would just grab the mic and talk. I was rapping at the time anyway. I was a local rapper, so it only felt right. But I never really looked at it like a job or anything to do, or a career, or anything that could get me paid or I can earn money from. It was just fun. Years later, he comes to me wanting to do Song Lab Live, like, hey, let's, highlight artists, let's podcast, let's bring them together for, monthly events, and let's make music out of that and see what we can do with that. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. Let's do it. How do you want to do this? He says, look, while everybody else is having fun at the event and making music, I want you to sit in this room and interview them. And I'm like, all right, well, all right, cool. I'll do that. I'll just step aside and I'll get everybody's story. And as I do that, I see that I kind of enjoy talking to people, and I like, when I meet people, I like hyping them up about what they do, because a lot of people have great talents, and they need a lot of people need that confirmation in their greatness, and I have no problem giving that to them. So that, alongside with having a great time with friends and people I may know, and now that I know so many artists in Arizona, it just goes together. So heck yeah, when it comes to events, of course, let me grab that mic, let me shout out, the greatness that's in the room. Let me let you know about what you can do while we're here, but also let me help you to have a good time, loosen up, and feel great about where you're at and what you're doing at the time. So I just got into it, I feel, naturally, and kind of being in the midst of all these events that go around in Arizona. Yeah.
Good shit. Song Lab Live.
Yeah.
Where's that located at?
We actually do everything out of a studio in North Phoenix, pretty much off of the I-17 and Northern. We're over there. It's a Marmara Creative Studios, owned by iRock.
I would say, first and foremost, shout out to iRock.
Yeah. Yep.
So I know iRock. I met iRock through Podsum back when Podsum was doing his podcast over there, and I was I was in that studio a lot.
Nice.
And then I actually recorded a song in there with iRock's son. So
awesome.
he was my producer engineer for the night. And then what was it? Big Baby.
Markel and Big Baby.
Yep. So, I've been all through. As a matter of fact, I just reached out to iRock, tell him you need to come get on the podcast.
He's hard to narrow down for that. Getting him in front of the camera is tough. He finds himself more comfortable behind it, directing it.
True, but people need to know. This is a legend. This is a great.
Show is.
Okay, so it's his time to get a little bit of shine. But all right, so Marmara Studios. If someone wanted to book with you, how would they do so?
Really, we do a lot through online. So a lot of people connect with us either straight through the DMs, or it's through networks of people that we know. So then they'll connect with us. One artist will let us know, hey, I have these other artists that are ready to come by. But you can always connect with us either, we have an email, songlablive@gmail.com is one email. You can email us there. You can also give us a call. I'll give you my number, 602-473-8711. You can connect with us there, and we'll find some time. We'll just schedule you in. We have great rates, but we work with artists and their budgets to help them get what they need done.
All right, and then how do you seek out your guests?
So it's really through who inspires us. We offer the opportunity out to artists who are coming up or already established. We don't really discriminate at all. But if somebody does come to us looking for an interview, we do have rates. It's just we reach out and like to help artists that we see that are consistent doing their thing and that inspire us to make a move.
Okay. Doing a podcast. What would you say would be the general message that you want to get out to people that if they were interested in being on your podcast or interested in being on a podcast itself, what will be some of the things that you tell them?
If you want to, first, if you're interested in podcasting and you want to create your own podcast, we do have an intro to podcasts like class. We do teach people how to podcast and what you'll need to do to get started up at the station, pretty much up at the lab. My apologies. I keep thinking about the radio station, but up at the lab, we teach people how to podcast and do all of that. So, again, contact us at songlab@gmail.com, and we can get you more information on that. Or if Songlab Live on IG, you can DM us there, or Songlab Live on Facebook. Go through the page and connect with us there. We'll help you to know what to do to get up and going. But I tell people, record yourself, talking to either your phone or to your computer, and just have a conversation. Kind of get comfortable with just recording yourself. And it could be just audio if you want to do a podcast. If you want to get familiar with video too, you can record yourself on video and see how you look, and figure out, what do you like to talk about? What do you want to expound upon? What do you want to share with people? Because when people are listening to you, they're listening to gain something. So what do you want to give? I like to look at it as I'm sharing. So if it's interesting to me, I want to give you something that's interesting to you. So I want to share with you. And I start there. I tell people hey, kind of round out your idea. And then when you're ready to get something going, then look at a few places where you can record at and start spending money to develop your idea even further. But, that's how I tell people to get started. To get on to our podcast, Song Lab Live, or to any other podcast that I'm doing, because, I have my own, but things are being revamped and changed right now. It just takes working in the game. If you see me posting or looking for guests, for sure, check me out. But mainly, we're being a podcast host, I'm always looking for someone to bring on. So if you're working, if you're doing your thing, I'm looking for like-minded individuals. I'm looking for people who are hustling. I'm looking for people who are, active. And so, yeah, that's all you got to do is do your thing. I'm gonna be reaching out to you, or you can reach out to me and we can talk. For sure.
What's the name of your podcast?
My podcast that I'll be coming with at the end of this year, heading into 2024, is Sage Sessions, Beyond the Pages. And it's pretty much a development under Black Sage, which is my marketing company, and me, EarlAlex, as the host of it. So,
okay, good shit. I might have to come get on there. I've been doing this for 6 years now.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Nice.
And in the 6 years that I've been doing this, I have only been on one other podcast.
Really?
Yep. And it wasn't even I was co-hosting for a Will Clay interview.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny at all this and with all I've been on two. Actually was just on one a couple of weeks ago called Make It Make Sense.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I like the name of that.
Outside of that, nobody is actually, and again, I was co-hosting that. I'm yet to do a podcast where somebody interviews me. And this is, when I was doing music, there was no such thing as a podcast. We had radio stations.
Yeah.
So it's just radio interviews and things such as that. But in podcasting, especially since I've been doing this, and should I do this 6 days a week? I'm pretty sure you see it 6 days a week. Yeah. Different artists, different podcasters, every walk of life has been on this show. But the crazy part is, even other podcasts, no one has been like, "Hey, you want to come get on the podcast yet?" So it's kind of crazy. And I'm thinking about getting out of the shell and starting to do some hosting of shows.
Hey, that's what's up.
Because
we got to get you off of the pew and into the pulpit.
Been there. See, this is the thing. I used to do music. And I think everybody hears that the voice is definitely recognizable once it's actually on the microphone.
Yeah.
And I know how to actually control a crowd and do all of that shit. And I'm a shit talking ass son of a bitch. So
okay. All right.
It's just I haven't wanted to actually be out there, but then at the same time, it's like, you know what? I'm about to start having some fun again. I done got my ass back in the gym. I've been doing quite a few things where it's like, all right, let me get back to doing what I know how to do. So don't be surprised if I hit you up and be like, hey, what's your next host? And I'm finna come co-host with you.
Come on through.
So I have fun doing this shit. Plus, it's cool to get out there.
You know, I pretty much have a hosting residency a little bit right now at a club in Avondale, Zarlux Lounge. I've been working with them just to bring more entertainment out to the West, and they've been great. Like, we have an event that we're doing December 1st, which is a Friday, and it's Emmy Piano vibes. So it's all Emmy Piano all night. Really, we just put out the flyer for that. We just spread the news about it, but really we already got a lot of people interested in it because that particular location already brings out that type of crowd. So we know it's going to be fun. It's also a hookah lounge as well. So not only will people be able to get some good sounds, you'll be able to get your hookah, be able to chill, feel right. We have 2 DJs that night, and we have performances by the guy Moabi, who is a South African who's going to be there doing his thing, and trust me, he's amazing. His voice, his vocal tone, it's top notch. So we're gonna have good fun that night. I'll be hosting that night, and I'll be looking to see everybody there. It's gonna be great.
What is the name of the club again?
Zarlux Lounge.
Okay. All right. Well,
Avondale.
ladies and gentlemen, we are at that point of the show where it is time for. We call this rapid fire questions. You ready for this?
Nice. Let's go.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fire off a bunch of questions at you. Answer them as quickly as possible. As the show name says, no capping.
All right, no caps. Let's go.
Tell the truth, and let's get it. First question is, this will be for the ladies. Do you sleep naked?
Sometimes.
Have you ever been in love?
Once.
Do you have tattoos?
One.
Do you love ice cream?
No.
Can any of your friends unlock your phone?
Probably.
Do you believe in fate?
Fate?
Yep.
Kinda.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Calling or texting?
Calling.
Favorite type of underwear?
Calvin Klein. The type of underwear. Oh,
Boxers,
boxer
boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs.
All right. What do you love eating on a date?
What do I love eating on a date? I'm vegan, so that's hard.
Uh-oh. How old were you when you got your first kiss?
Wow. Young as hell. What, 3?
You said 3.
You know what I'm saying?
What the hell was you kissing at 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, old. All right,
I just wanted to try it out.
Super strength or invisibility?
Super strength.
Pie or cake?
Pie?
Favorite sex position?
You know, I was gonna say, doggy style, of course.
Movie or series?
Movie or series?
Yep.
Damn, that's a good one. Damn, I'd say movie. I like damn. I'm sorry. Just go next. I'll just keep movie. Go ahead.
All right, pie or no? I already passed it. Watch or necklace?
Watch.
Clothes or shoes?
Shit. Shoes.
Public sex or just the bedroom?
Shit. Public, yo.
Dream car?
Dream car.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just say a classic Jaguar.
Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
A food you can't live without?
God damn. That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't. There's no food I can't live without. I ain't picky like that.
Okay. What was the last song? What was the song you were listening to in the car?
I think the last one is we set the trends.
Club or bars?
Club, probably.
When was the last time you watched porn?
Last time I watched porn? God damn. That's a good one. What about I seen some porn maybe a week ago. Yeah. Last time I watched. Yeah.
Okay. One thing you will never do again.
One thing I'll never do again? No. One thing I'll never do again. I don't have a thought like that yet.
Okay. Simplest way to make you smile.
Consideration.
Who are you currently crushing on?
No one.
Who's your favorite person in the world right now?
Damn. I feel like it's just conceited to say yourself.
Who did you last kiss?
We'll keep that one to myself.
Restaurant or home cooked meal?
Home cooked all day.
First, what is the best part of your morning?
Shit, waking up and then, that time to myself. I do like 2 hours to myself.
What's your worst fear?
Negligence in life.
What is your favorite ice cream flavor?
That's a good one. It's probably cheesecake now.
Favorite childhood memory?
I'd have to dig deep on that one. I got to ask my therapist.
Drinking or smoking?
Smoking.
What would you do if you won $1 million today?
I ain't even gonna lie. If I won $1 million today, I'm piecing. There's a few folks that I want to help. That's probably the first thing. Of course, I'm out of debt, which I ain't got much. But it's like, yeah, I'm piecing some people out. Like, there's some dreams that I want to see that I know some people I want to help make happen.
What's your favorite TV show?
Currently, I don't know, maybe. Shit, I don't really got a good one. Upload right now.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Damn. Celebrity crush.
Yeah.
God damn.
Look at it. He over there stuck.
Cause right now I ain't got no real celebrity crush.
All right. Who is your biggest fan?
My biggest fan?
Yep.
I'd have to say is my son.
What is the first thing you do in the morning?
The first thing that I do in the morning when I wake up is I drink some water and then I go running.
Social media or hanging out?
Social media is like work, a little bit like work to me. So probably social media.
And what is your dream career?
Doing what I'm doing now, but getting paid more adequately.
Okay. And then this is the last question. This is the most important one of them all. You ready? What's the best podcast in the world?
Oh, shit, you already know. If it ain't Song Lab Live, it's nocappreacts.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is rapid fire questions. Had you a little hot under the collar there, huh? People don't be expecting the questions. So what I actually did is over the years, because I do have the live shows, we do ask quite a few questions. And then back in the day, every conversation we actually had was 100% inspired by our viewers. So we would get questions through Instagram. So I literally could just go through my Instagram and take all those questions that was posted over the years and create rapid fire questions. And the thing about this isn't even all of them, so I can continually change them.
Well, I mean, I like the questions and how they challenge you to be honest or true or what you're gonna say. I know I didn't I didn't cap on not one question because I know where I'm at. You know what I mean? And they can react to all that, and you know, just find out about the lifestyle though.
All right. Well, Phoenix, Arizona, 2024. What are some of your goals for what you're doing in life?
Okay. 2024, I know my goals are to do more shows, produce more content, not just from myself, but for other groups, and to help more artists monetize their work. I think those are really my three main goals. Outside of that, I have some personal goals like, maximize my time with my son, make sure that I'm reading more and getting closer to, God and my beliefs, and then also just to kind of align and organize what I do in a way where I don't feel like, in the day, there's something I left undone. Even though I know I can't do everything, I don't like the feeling of, I might have left this thing undone or that. So, yeah.
All right. And then in closing out 2023, what are some things that you feel like you haven't accomplished that you need to go ahead and do?
Shoot, my websites. It's like, as a web developer and programmer, I think it's bad to say, but I really do not put enough time into developing my personal websites and just putting all the information on there that it needs to have. So I got a lot of work to do there.
I mean, if you need some help, let me know. I do the same thing.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I think people don't really understand how much work goes into this, from the backgrounds that happen that go on all the different social media platforms. Like right now, we're streaming on 5 different platforms.
Nice.
So they all need their own different banners, different sizes, because it's amazing how none of them are the same. The day you got booked, within 10 minutes you had a flyer. People don't understand how much work goes into this, posting on a regular basis. Well, you're looking pretty crispy on that camera over there. So making sure that, everything is visually intact in place. Nothing is missed. This is a lot of work. And then, creating websites, doing all those different things in order to make sure that people can just visualize and see and in some way be part of your vision.
Yeah.
When they go and see it and feel like it's a very professional situation. Because, I mean, usually it's a lot of women, but prior to this, we've only talked on the internet. We had never met.
Yeah.
And that's every person that comes on this show. Mm-hmm. So if they didn't feel like they were walking into a professional situation and being around something professional and being in a safe space, half of this shit just wouldn't go.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, and also doing the exact same thing, because at the end of the day, people don't understand this is a lot harder than what it is. Everybody thinks that doing this is fun and games. They don't understand how much work it actually takes to make this just go from 0 to 100.
And it really is. It's a labor of love. It's always perfecting the process, and it's always really taking what works, continuing that, taking what doesn't work, stopping that, and finding time to, I said it earlier, but fill in the gaps of where your business needs are. And a website is really just a display of your business processes. So a lot of times when you don't have everything together, it is good to get something just up, but that's where your website can show, okay, so you don't have this process or that. It takes a minute to really think through all that your business is about to give it the best face online. And I do that, but then because I do that for others so much, doing it for myself comes a lot of times secondary. And one thing that this year has truly taught me is that you kind of got to put yourself first in that regard in order to help others better, in order to deliver that service better. So, I've been working on really bringing everything that I'm doing together to show that in the best light and get that website right.
Amen, amen. I'll be the first person to say, in doing this, what I find is like taking time for myself to just do things like this week. I actually work for Adobe, so taking even this week, I'm not working at all, and sitting here. I'm pretty sure you've probably seen a couple flyers today about telling people follow, subscribe, do all these different things that I do for other people all the time to help them grow. I was like, I have never done this for myself, and sitting here and actually going ahead and taking the time to actually do that. So yes, for you, definitely kudos. Keep doing what you're doing, because the work that you're putting in to make sure that other people are successful, one, it requires you to be humble. 2, hardworking. 3, the tenacity that goes along with it to push you to want to help other people. And sometimes we put others before our own selves, which is absolutely crazy, but it happens all the time. So kudos to you on that for sure.
Thank you.
Now, if there was something that you wanted the people to know about you, what would it be?
If there's I want the people to know that, I don't know, like when it comes to hosting and all of that stuff, it's fun to highlight other artists and all of that. But, I also got music. I also got stuff I'm bringing to the forefront as well. So, if there's anything that I want people to know, it's that when I step out with my product, it's going to be nothing short than fire, regardless if it's filled with nothing but flutes or bars. I promise. Trust me, we've been putting together things, been working with plenty great producers. You actually spoke on one of the producers that I'm working with right now on some projects, Big Baby, but also with K-Boog and others just coming together with some product for the streets, for the people. So
is Plex out of yours?
Oh yeah, Plex is working there.
So that's actually who's messaging me right now. So he'll be on the show in December.
Nice. Plex is a great producer, like phenomenal work, beautiful catalog, and he's sitting on product that he hasn't really. I've sat back in the studio and just listened to what he has, and it's just I can't wait for him to just flood the gates. Trust.
Okay. So what are some of the things you got coming up music-wise out of your catalog?
Okay. Out of my catalog, I have a song that I'm working on with Bobby Denham's, Tay Crown, Marvello Hathaway. It's a song where I made this beat, and I was like feeling the vibe of like when you're hiking up a mountain, like in Arizona, and then you look off and you see like the orangish sky. It's kind of like blue to orange, and there's like very little clouds, but you're just looking off, and it just captured that feeling to me. But then like it could hit hard, so I put the beat together, and I was just like, yeah. I put like the first verse, I put the chorus all together. And I'm like, I do this thing where I hear other artists, and I like making like collaboration tracks. So I hear other artists, and I just heard Bobby Denham's on it. I was like, okay, the way her flow pattern hits, like it would just go dope on this. And when I showed the beat to Tay the Crown and Marvello, like they were both in the studio with me, and I showed the beat to them. There's a second part of the beat where it's just kind of different, and they were just feeling it, and I knew they could bring something completely different. So we've just been collaborating on that, putting that together, and that I'm looking to be kind of like the first release coming back, beginning of next year. But then also have some other tracks in the work where, heavy production going on with the beats to make sure they right, but also so like getting the video together. So not just the audio side of things, but getting the visuals right for anything after that first introductory track.
So when it comes to your own personal music, how would you define your sound? What do you think your sound is?
It's funny. A lot of people have compared me to Corrupt, or not Corrupt, but Daz Dillinger a little bit. Said I look like him a little bit too sometimes. But then also Kanye. So Daz a little bit for the production, Kanye a little bit for the production, and a little bit of the rap style. I would, of course, like any artist, I'm gonna say I'm me, but I think I take notes from, the East Coast influences of Wu-Tang. I take notes from, my Midwest ties that that even though my upbringing doesn't support it, I feel like there's Midwest ties in there because of the relation to people tell me I'm my styles kind of sounds like Kanye sometimes. And I feel like I take tones of Corrupt, because he just influenced me when I was younger. So a little bit of his wordplay, a little bit of how he likes to play with words. So that's where I get my influences from. But a lot of people also say when they listen to it, it's different. Like it's not the same. I have my own. My voice is its own. I don't sound like any other rapper, and I don't, I'm not using auto-tune or anything like that. So it's more just like lyrics, and I do some harmonizing and stuff like that. So
yeah. I've never in my life used auto-tune. So before you get out of here, I'm gonna let you listen to some shit.
Nice.
It's actually listening to the music that comes out today, especially on the major scene, and knowing that I have the contacts with the labels that I do. I've been asked to get back in it a couple of times. I got some tracks that have never been released. Nice. Thinking about re-recording them.
Why not?
So I'm going to let you listen to some shit before you get out of here. And we'll see if we can make something happen.
Hell yeah. Love it.
All right. So if they want to find your music, where can they find that at?
Well, I'm going to be releasing my music, of course, on all the major platforms. But I'm going to take time to actually embrace Web3 and put my music in places where people can, purchase it using cryptocurrency and things like that. There's a couple platforms that I'm looking at. And then, providing an NFT along with the music so that I can track my fans over time, maybe add to the value of their purchase over time. I just want to embrace the new era of things also. So, I've released music before. I've done music for a long time, since the early 2010s, but I've just taken a long hiatus. So coming back, I'd rather do it right and prepare for the future rather than focusing on the missing past.
Okay. What would you like to leave the people with tonight?
Well, what I want to leave the people with is, it's been great being here on No Cap Reacts. It's been awesome. He welcomed me here, and honestly, the conversation is great. But check me out on Song Lab Live on IG. Check me out on EarlAlex.ig on Instagram. Check me out on Facebook and everywhere. A lot of new content is coming. I'm kind of being a tad vague because I want to put it together right for you and then introduce it to you right. So we got plenty of things coming before the end of the year. Also, if you want to see me in person, come out to Zarlux Lounge December 1st. We're doing it right. I'm in piano vibes and chill, where there'll be, trust me, 2 DJs rocking all night. Plus, we got the man Mowabi, and he's going to be performing, singing, killing it. At the same time, specials on the hookah, specials throughout the night. We have food there, everything. So we're going to have a great time just rocking out, and you can be there and catch me in person. It's going to be great.
Perfect. And then last but not least, if they want to find you in the social media world, where they going to find you at?
You can find me on Instagram, EarlAlex.ig. Find me on Facebook, EarlAlex.page, EarlAlex.profile. Also, we have groups that we're in connection with. Black Arizona is a group that I've been connecting with on Facebook. If you're in that group, you'll see a lot of activities and things that we're doing in the community. Key Vibes Radio. Remember that. You can download the station on your Android or your Apple phone. You can listen to it. It really plays R&B, neo soul, jazz, some classics, and you'll also hear great on-air personalities like Angie Gomez or Dana and Ray Flagg in the morning. So trust me, that's a very entertaining station that I'm working with heavily, and artists we are going to soon be taking in your music because we serve the greater Phoenix area and we want to serve the artists that are out here looking for more exposure. But yeah, definitely look for Key Vibes Radio, also online, all that. And Song Lab Live, again, Song Lab Live. That's what we do. Our podcast for artists. That's where we connect artists with opportunities to help them sustain their passions. So definitely check me out there as well.
Well, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Therapy Session. Everybody always asks, what is Therapy Session? What's that about? As y'all can see, really, it's just the name of a show. I don't know why I named it Therapy Session. It was just a good name. It's a hot name. It's a hot topic. People think it's a lot more than what it is, but really, I'm just trying to interview some of the latest, greatest, hottest people in the city right here on No Cap Reacts. Again, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. With that, make sure you check out all the shows. We got Couples Therapy. We got Friday Night Live. You got Sunday Night Live. And you have Therapy Session. Make sure you tune in. You already know where to go. And then get your merch as well as the clothing line, hustlefit.com. Again, appreciate you. I'm your man, Bailey, a.k.a. Mr. Go. Get him!